Okay guys, so this I got from Banggood. This is the Eachine Inverted Flight H8S 3D. Now what that means, the 3D is that it does inverted flight by pressing a button and then it just control it as normal. And also does flips and everything. It has a headless mode and a return to home semi-function. Now I've never been able to get those headless mode and and return to home to ever work, and I really don't need those functions, so I've never actually tried it on this model. So this is what it looks like. This was what comes in the box. You have your USB charger as normal, and I don't remember if this is. I think this is a 1S battery. I don't know the milliamp at the moment. This is a very cheap quadcopter. It flies pretty well, but there's a couple things about it. So it does the inverted flight well and everything, but a few things here. This is only about 20 bucks, so you're not really going to be wasting a lot of money. It is a great amount of fun for the price. So what they did is they put the red lights in the front and the blue in the back, and that messes me up like crazy because I always like to have my red lights in the back, and if there's any type of anything else, I like to have it in the front, as far as the blue or the white. So that always messes me up for orientation. But the worst thing about this thing is basically this controller. The sticks are super stiff. So if you go to bank to the right or left, it's kind of like you push it and then it kind of goes all the way over. The same thing with the yaw. The yaw is really stiff. So I'm actually going to do a little modification to this to see if I can't improve the flight characteristics. I found these hubcap spacers from when I used to do cars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these on there, and I'm also going to drill down through here. And then I'll have the tall enough stick. Maybe I might just try it with these to start with to see if that helps out. Because the controllability of this thing for a beginner is going to be really hard. I mean, I'm pretty proficient, and I'm having a really hard time flying it around here in my office, and that's kind of what these are designed for. Yeah, so you can see my little extensions I put on my sticks here, and I just flew it, and it definitely helps out with the control of the quadcopter. Now, one thing you might want to do is those little electrical caps that you screw together to screw two wires together. Those are a little bit taller. I think those would be actually just perfect for this, and it takes just a little bit more out of the springiness of this controller. So, alright guys, to get this thing going, you just plug it in, and you set this down on a flat counter so it can calibrate. What you gotta do is keep your throttle down, turn it on, up and down, and it syncs. Now there's two different modes. There's expert mode, which is double beep, and there's beginner mode, which is 40% of 100%, which is just one beep. So, and these are your trims for forward and backwards, right and left. All right, here we go. So we're in beginner mode here. Flies really nice, pretty predictably. The yaw is a little weird. That's where I'd like the stick to be a little bit longer, so I don't. Basically, because when you try to yaw over, it goes slow, and then it goes fast. So that's what makes it kind of uncontrollable. For a beginner, it would be pretty hard. But like I said, you're not spending a lot of money for this quad, so. Okay, so I'm going to put it in expert mode here, which is just going to be a little faster, definitely faster here, so hopefully you guys can see this. And you can see the bank angle there is quite harsh. I'm going to put it back into beginner mode, because for something like this I want it to be pretty tame. Okay, so there's two buttons on the top. Left button here with my left index finger is going to be inversion mode, so okay. That's basically it. So like I said, the rotors are reversing, or the motors are reversing direction. Okay, and it also has a flip function, of course, just like all these little toy quads.
You shall not pass! Yeah! Nice! Do a durability test. I want you to run it straight into that wall over there.
No.
Yeah, come on, do it. Okay. Here. That was good.
Now, it flies pretty well for a beginner quad. You know, it's somewhere between $14 and $18. I don't remember the exact cost. I will put a link in the description below. But the frame is pretty robust. You know, you can bend it around. If you want, really, if you wanted to change the LEDs around, you could put the red in the back where it should go and the blue in the front. But not bad. I would definitely recommend doing the little modification on the controls here because it makes it much more controllable. Because it actually flies well, but this is the problem right here. So it flies for about 3 to 8 minutes, depending on what you're doing. Charges up in about 20 minutes or so. Alright guys, thanks for checking out this little quad. It's pretty neat for the price. And just to let you know, when you click on the links on Banggood, it does help me out. So if you'd like to support my channel, click on the link, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.